Hey, welcome back. Are you trying to get into anime? Well, right now it might seem impossible because there are a million different shows and most of them aren't user friendly. Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. I have 12 excuses for you to start this year. And for you veterans, this is the perfect video to show that one friend who doesn't want to watch anime. I guarantee one of these are going to be on his top list. I have 4 genres for you, and the first genre, of course, is going to be action. What better way to get into anime than with action? We're going to start this list off with Naruto. Naruto is a cult classic and probably one of the best ways to get into anime, especially if you want something to binge. Naruto follows an ostracized kid who has the dream of becoming Hokage, which is their village leader. Unfortunately, he has a tailed beast inside of him, so everyone looks at him as if he's some type of plague. But it is a shonen, so it does have a stupid amount of action, a great wholesome comedy, and it's one of the animes that has inspired millions across the world. Maybe you're not a fan of blonde hair and blue eyes, maybe you want something a little bit more modern. Well, I have My Hero Academia for you. Think of watching a superhero movie, except for it's actually good. Not that She-Hulk bullshit. You know, where she twerks and everything. Okay, 3, 2, 1. My Hero Academia follows a boy named Deku, who is a powerless kid on his journey to become the greatest hero ever. As a more modern show, you get the quality and animation that is top of its performance. You also get to see how the new genre of anime is establishing itself. It's definitely a fun way to get your feet wet, and it's not too hard to binge either. Maybe you want something a little bit more modern, like modern. And for that, I got Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a great pick. It follows a boy named Tanjiro on a quest to turn his sister back into a human after she was bit by Michael Jackson, the Demon King. It also has the benefit of having great action scenes and a linear plot, so it's not hard to get lost. It also has one movie, and it's not too hard to binge. Maybe action isn't your forte, maybe you want something that's more of a thinking man's game. Well, for that I have Death Note. It's the first in our thriller, and watching an episode of Death Note is like an avalanche of excitement. Death Note follows Light, a high schooler given the ability to kill people if he writes their name in a book. The book is called a Death Note, and he's followed around by an apple-eating Shimigami who essentially just wants to watch the world burn because he's bored. Now maybe you already watched Death Note and you're looking for more of something like that. Well, I have something with waifus, giant robots, and an epic plot that's going to keep you searching for more. For this, I have Code Geass. It is one of my personal favorites. It's about an exiled prince who has the ability to make anyone do anything as long as he can look into your eyes and voice the command. Code Geass is one of the most beloved shows out there. Combined with Death Note, it is probably the best way and best introduction to anime. Maybe you want something a little less serious, but exciting at the same time, and for that, I have Future Diary. Future Diary follows a boy named Yuki who has the ability to read into the future with his phone. It's useful, but now that he has it, he's accepted his role into a battle royale, and whoever wins the battle royale becomes God. Not a god, but God. Yep, it's pretty intense, but he also has a stalker girlfriend who will either murder him or anyone around him. It's hard to say. For the third genre, I have fantasy, and usually fantasy involves isekais, where an isekai is someone who gets transported to another world, usually by Truck-kun, or just some other big-ass boss. For the first one, I have Jobless Reincarnation. Jobless Reincarnation is actually one of those who actually do the isekai genre almost perfectly. It gives a thrilling story, great character development, and you see how his past life as a horrible human being, he makes it better by almost being a better mage and a more caring person when he's reincarnated. With the world of awe and the immense characters, it's going to be hard for you not to binge this, and I guarantee you're going to love it. Coming in at number 2 on our fantasy list, I have something that is diabolical, great animation, a great story, great plot, but if you watch it, you are going to need counseling. It is called ReZero. Now, ReZero is an incredible journey following Subaru as he tries to get the girl of his dreams. Not really, he's just trying not to die. Like, that's the premise of this. It's basically Let's Not Die Simulator. But even though it's a Let's Not Die Simulator, The amazing detail into the show and the world building is absolutely insane, and I guarantee you will love it. It has 2 seasons, so go ahead and go binge them. If you're a veteran and you're recommending anime, you shouldn't be recommending Claymore. It is going to make your person cry. Whoever you're deciding to give this to, it is probably not in their best interest. Claymore is a beautiful anime with very muscular and attractive women, and it comes in a world of suffering. Claymore fights off demons, even though she's treated as demons herself. This is probably one of the darkest shows on the list, right next to Re:Zero. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, and if you're still into dark fantasy, I definitely recommend this. This isn't my favorite depiction of most of them. I personally don't like romance, but there is a very huge cult following for them. And let's start with the Holy Grail, one that I've actually watched, Clannad. It's a simple story about a boy named Somiya, and he meets a girl named Nagisa. From there, it builds into the most realistic depictions, yeah, something like that, of young love that you might ever see. If you end up watching the after story, I guarantee it'll be something you never forget. Not my personal favorite on this list, but it is a very good one. Your Lie in April. One of my best friends decided to give me this as a recommendation. I personally didn't like it, but the following for this anime and the actual story for it is insane. They learn how to love. She's a violinist. This anime will actually break your heart. I'm not the one to cry, but I did tear up like a little bitch on Sunday at the end. Again, I'm not one for romance anime, but this one is actually one of my favorites, Kaguya-sama, where love is war. It's basically when your first heartbreak. This anime is wholesome and will make you laugh out loud more than anything. I find it better than Gintama when it comes to laughter and comedy. If you want something surprisingly incredible that'll make your tears wipe away after you're done with the other 2 recommendations, this is definitely something to check out. If you manage to stay this long, I'm going to put timestamps for each of the categories with action, thriller, fantasy, and love, romance. It'd be mean the world to me if you can just hit the like button or hit the subscribe button, either one. But remember to stay goofy and stay hydrated, and I love you.